All right. Arsenal is taking on a team known as Bayern Leverkusen at the Bay Arena today. 30,210 people are expected to obviously fill up that stadium in Germany, and we will be witnessing whether Arsenal obviously goes ahead to continue with its unbeaten run in the Champions League. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. I'm here to let you know that we want to hit 39,000 subscribers and continue to subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we do upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. But I want to remind you that we do have our proud sponsor, and he goes by the names of St. Maria Great SS Katende. St. Maria Great SS Katende is an O and A level school, and admissions are open. So register via that number that you see there. Call them and obviously make those inquiries. You can as well email them on that email you see there. You can also go on their website and you can really register onto their website, and they'll obviously bring you details that you need to obviously know about this. So that is what we call St. Maria Great SS Katende, and you will take your child to a school that has a Christian foundation. Hope you are doing so. And many people are obviously contacting these people, and they're like telling them, we got your number via Rokani Media Football, and they're telling me you really have people who can obviously really bring us students in their face. So please, you won't regret, and you'll thank me later. Do the needful, and the rest will be history in here onto the Rokani Media Football. So guys, let's go eyes and see how things are going to be panning out in here for this particular game of football. Champions League game, Champions League football was played yesterday. Liverpool was beaten. I'm coming up with that video. Barcelona drew with Newcastle 1-1. So you now know. But there are other teams like Bayern Munich going gung-ho against Atlanta, and even Atletico Madrid has also gone gung-ho against the team known as what's the name called? What's the team called? It's called Tottenham Hotspur in there for you. And I know Arsenal fans are really jubilating because that's what they really want to see happen onto the side of Tottenham Hotspur. But the point of discussion is a team known as Arsenal. Now, Arsenal are coming to this game of football, and they are one of the best teams in Europe, And when you look at the table of the Champions League, Arsenal finished first, and Leverkusen finished 16th. Leverkusen had 12 points. Arsenal had times 2 the number of points that Leverkusen had, and those were 24. Leverkusen went ahead obviously to play in what we call the playoffs, and after the playoffs, the draws were really put out, and they ended up being drawn with the side of Arsenal in there. So Leverkusen, in all the games they've gone ahead to play in the Champions League, I think they are 14 goals. Sorry, they've gone ahead to score 15. Arsenal has gone ahead to score 23. Leverkusen has conceded 14 goals. Arsenal has gone ahead to concede 4 goals, and I think Arsenal is the team that has gone ahead to concede the least number of goals. 85 shots by Leverkusen, 42 shots on target, 43 shots off target, 28 shots have been blocked by the opponents that Leverkusen has gone ahead to play against. When we go to Arsenal, 110 shots, 63 have been on target, 47 have been blocked by the opponents, 25 are the shots that have been blocked by the opponents. Leverkusen averages a passing accuracy of 87.05 per game, and Arsenal averages 84.64, per game as their passing accuracy. Now, the previous games that Bayern Leverkusen played, they drew with Freiburg in the Bundesliga by 3-3, right? And Arsenal went ahead to obviously beat Mansfield by 2-1 in the FA Cup. That is it. Previous meetings between Arsenal and Bayern Leverkusen, they've gone ahead to meet 3 times. Bayern Leverkusen has won none of the games. Arsenal's going to hit to win 2, and the draw has been won. Meaning that the friendly they played on August-September 2024, Arsenal beat them by 4-1. Now, they last played this team in the UEFA Champions League in 2002. When they played away at the Bay Arena, the game ended 1-1. And when they played at the Highbury Stadium, because that's where Highbury was, Arsenal was playing at Highbury in 2002, Arsenal beat Bayern Leverkusen by 4-1. So, it might not be an easy outing for the club of Arsenal, but they might be having all what it takes to come up and obviously kill off this game of football when they come to a side known as the Emirates. But we've gone ahead to see Arsenal go to tough stadiums like Inter Milan, and they've gone ahead to register victory. So you don't downplay what Arsenal has and what Arsenal can bring to you in any game of football altogether. So we are here waiting to see what Arsenal really comes up with in this particular encounter. So those have been the match facts. Now, when you go to the injuries, Arsenal does have Martin Odegaard is out with an injury. Benny White is having a knock. Mikel Merino with a foot injury. But the rest of the players are expected to return. William Saliba, Ricardo Carafiori, and Leandro Trossard. That is it. So, Bayern Leverkusen are far from tip-toe shape for the first leg either, as Mark Flecken is having an injury. Loic Bade, a hamstring injury. Arthur is having a ligament injury. Lucas Vasquez is having a calf injury. Ellison Saga, calf injury. And Nathan Taylor is having a foot injury. So, Patrick Schick is in the cusp of recovering from the muscular problem and is expected to be in the squad. But the Cameroon teenager, Christian Kofane, should spearhead the charge instead. So, you've gone ahead to see to it that they really have a good number of injuries. But you never know what a team will obviously raise up when Arsenal goes ahead to obviously attack it, because it is never easy, I tell you. It is never what? It's never easy into the mix. So that is all about a team known as Arsenal in there for you and Bayern Leverkusen. Now, after knowing the team news, obviously, we head into what we call the probable starting 11, with Arsenal coming in through with a 4-3-3 system. You understand? And that 4-3-3 system will see Arsenal field players that have gone ahead to rest, I think, for a week. You get? In goal, obviously, David Raya will obviously take back his spot from Kepa Zabalaga, who represents for the club of Arsenal when they are playing in what we call the FA Cup against Mansfield. And he conceded just one goal. And you can't blame him for that goal in there for you. Right back, obviously, it was Salmon who played over the weekend. And guess who is coming in through? Obviously, it will be our man known as Julian Timber, a man who has looked very solid in there for you. Then left back, obviously, Arsenal really has Hinkapie, Carafiori in there for you, and Lewis Kelly. But I think it's going to be a player known as Hinkapie playing as a left back. When you look at Hinkapie, he's one of those players that Arsenal went ahead to sign on loan with an option to buy. And guess where he was coming in from? Bayern Leverkusen. That is it. That means that Arsenal really has a couple of players that played at Bayern Leverkusen. Don't forget a player called Kai Havertz, who really went ahead to hit the grand world stage when he was playing at Bayern Leverkusen. You understand? So, Hinkapie in there for you. The centre-back, I think the manager will obviously call for the services of William Saliba, who last kicked the ball for Arsenal when they're beating Chelsea by 2-1, and also a player known as Gabriel Magalhaes, who really has been resting for a week, as he was really warming up for some action in there. So that is the back five for the club of Arsenal, and that's how I anticipate them to obviously come out and obviously stand. So we get to what we call the central midfield. It was Nogard who represented for the club of Arsenal. Zubimendi never even went ahead to the bench, meaning that the manager was like, go and rest. So, Zubi Martin returns into his role as a CDM. That is Martin Zubimendi for you. From Martin Zubimendi, you obviously anticipated that the box-to-box midfielder is obviously going to be a Declan Rice, who was rested, and it's a week now since he last kicked the ball for the club of Arsenal. That means he was recharging his batteries for this particular fixture, and you'll see unseen performances of really hard work. You know, he'll be working hard in that midfield. Then we go to the number 10 position. With Odegaard out, that means the manager has three options: Trossard, Eze, and a player known as Kai Havertz. My mind tells me it's really going to be a Belechi Eze, man in form. That is it, because the manager went ahead to start Kai Havertz in the game of Mansfield, and he never really looked good. And how do you reward a player who went ahead, obviously, come off the bench and score the winner for the club of Arsenal? You obviously throw him straight into the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal. And that is a Belechi Eze for you, coming in through thick and fast into this particular encounter. Now, we go to the front, the front three. Right forward, Noni Madueke started and scored a goal, but I don't think that the manager can obviously risk him for this game. So, I see the manager of Arsenal going in for Bukayo Saka, you understand, and he will play as a right forward. Left forward, I see the manager calling in for Martinelli will start because Trossard is coming from injury, unless otherwise he's really looking fit. But he started the game in the FA Cup, and he obviously went ahead to really not deliver as expected because he really got off. Leading the line, Jesus versus Gyokeres, and maybe Kai Havertz, not having gone ahead to start as a 10. Leading the line, it's going to be Victor Gyokeres for the club of Arsenal. That's how I see my starting 11 for the club of Arsenal as they jet into this particular fixture for this particular encounter as we really look at them. So that is how it will look like today at the Bay Arena in Germany, and we'll be waiting to see how things really pan out into that. So I'm calling upon for your reactions into that probable starting 11. What do you make about it? That's what I've gone ahead obviously come up with, and I don't know what your thoughts are really about it. When we go to Bayern Leverkusen, Blaswich in goal, Andrich, Kwanch, Tapsoba. Look a lot at Tapsoba a lot because very many teams are really interested in him. Kwanchi was at Liverpool. He knows the Premier League very well. Poku, Garcia, Fernandez, Grimaldo. That is the mid three. Now, Maza and Teria, two number 10s, and Kofane will lead the line. That is it. But there is Hamsik, who is really a deadly player. You get? Patrick Schick. If you know Patrick Schick, he's a deadly player, and he's a man who really looks good. And he is really having experience that he has of age at Bayern Leverkusen. He has been here for some years, and I know he'll come in through and obviously put in a very huge shift in there for you. So we wait and see how he will obviously feature in this particular encounter as Patrick Schick, right? So let's obviously head into what we call the match facts before we head into what I think the result will be. Bayern Leverkusen have progressed from 4 of their 5 major European knockout ties against English clubs, failing only against Liverpool in 2004, 2005 in the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal's only previous European meetings with Bayern Leverkusen came in the second group stage in 2001, 2002. drawing 1-1 away and winning 4-1 at Highbury. I've already gone ahead to give you that stat. Arsenal's only previous European meetings with Bayern Leverkusen came in the second group stage in 2001 and 2002, drawing 1-1 away and winning 4-1 at Highbury. That is it. So, thirdly, all 5 of Arsenal's UEFA Champions League knockout ties against German teams have come against Bayern Munich, going out in the last 16 in 2004, 2005, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2016-2017, and in the 2023-2024 quarterfinal, meaning that it's time for revenge right now. Arsenal can now knock out a German team. Will they? We wait to see how they'll cook on the day. Bayern Leverkusen are unbeaten in their last 3 UEFA Champions League games. 2 wins, 1 draw, keeping a clean sheet in all 3. The German side have never previously kept 4 consecutive shoutouts in the competition. You understand? So Bayern are unbeaten in their last 3 UEFA Champions League games. 2 draws, 2 wins, and 1 draw, keeping a clean sheet in all the 3. So that means in the last 3, they haven't obviously going to have to concede very many goals. Bayern Leverkusen are unbeaten in their last 3 UEFA Champions League games. All right, I'm going to have to get that. It's a repetition. Arsenal are the only team who haven't trailed at any point in the UEFA Champions League this season. 62% winning, 38% drawing of their total match time. Indeed, the Gunners have the best XG difference when in a drawing game state of any team in this edition. So, guys, Arsenal are who they think they are because of these stats. Because a team that is really unusual, a team that is really usual can't obviously come out and obviously put out stats like this. That means Arsenal is a different team altogether. Coming into the second round of 16, Bayern Leverkusen have conceded more shots from high turnover 26 than any other side in the UEFA Champions League this season. Overall, only Quarabeg, 118, have conceded more total high turnovers than the German side at 109 in this edition. That really gives Arsenal a very huge thought, and it's really finger-licking to the fans of Arsenal because they know what it means. 43% of Bayern Leverkusen chances created in the UEFA Champions League this season have come from the left side, split by left, right, thirds, the highest percentage of any team. Indeed, left wing back Alejandro Grimaldo has created 23 chances for them in this edition, which is 12 more than any of his teammates, and 11 for Ibrahim Maza. So, that left side is really deadly. That means Julian Timber, Bukayo Saka will have a very huge role to do into this particular game as they play well and really recover well defensively. Then Arsenal's Victor Gyokeres has netted 10 goals in 14 UEFA Champions League appearances, 4 of which have been scored following a carry traveling 5 fly meters with the ball. Coming into the round of 16, only Vinicius Jr. 6, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal both have more goals ending carries in the competition since the start of last season. So, the lad, his goals have a trademark onto them. You understand? Second, lastly, since the start of last season, Arsenal defender Julian Timber has the lowest dribbled past percentage, 7.4 of any player to attempt 50-plus true tackles in the UEFA Champions League, 4/54. This guy is really doing well. And lastly, Bayern Leverkusen's Alex Garcia has averaged 16.6 line-breaking passes per 90 in the UEFA Champions League this season, the most by any midfielder, minimum 300 minutes played. So, the lad is who he thinks he is. Now, all you're waiting for is my prediction. 3-1 win for the club of Arsenal. That is it. 3-1 win for the club of Arsenal. And I think they might kill off this game early enough. That is it. Because Arteta has fire burning in his belly. That is it. So thank you guys for watching through. I call upon for your reactions in the comment section below about what we're going to talk about here. So please do the needful and you thank me later. I'm out. Rokani David is my name.